Welcome in, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great wherever you're watching from today. We have a very important topic. It is a breaking news story coming out of the Trump administration regarding the war in Ukraine between Ukraine and Russia. And we really haven't talked about that in a long time. Seems like everyone's kind of, at other, I don't want to say bigger fish to fry because I don't want to minimize what's going on. I don't want to certainly look at it that way, but it hasn't been in the news, probably because of the Iran-Israel war. But now it is. In Trump, I'll be very curious to see how Trump fans, people who supported Trump, how they react to this. This appears to be in direct response to what Putin is doing, and Trump feels Putin's not playing ball. Apologize for the rough hair look. Did just hop out of the shower to shoot this as soon as seeing the breaking news. Before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe. Cost you guys nothing. Totally free. Huge boost to the channel. Please comment with your thoughts below. I'm trying to respond to as many comments as possible. Hit that bell. Make sure all notifications are checked and turned on so you don't miss anything. And real quick, I'm shooting this on July 10th. My AC will be getting fixed starting on Friday, July 11th. That is right. After months without AC, it will be fixed. It's going to take about 5 days to get it fixed, is what they said. That's how much construction is going to need to be done when it's all said and done. But that's what it is. So anyways, now let's get into the news. Obviously, we all know about the war that's been raging for years between Ukraine and Russia. It's been a brutal war. It's been a violent war. It's been absolutely horrific. A lot of innocent people have lost their lives. It is really disgusting, some of the stuff we've seen come out of there. But that's the reality of war. It's not an action movie. Doesn't look great. Doesn't look outstanding. It is what it is. Trump, when he was running for office, wanted to get that thing done and taken care of essentially on day one. Clearly, that didn't happen. We had the infamous blow up in the Oval Office between President Donald Trump and Zelensky. Let me actually see if I can. I'm still working with StreamYard here, you guys, so I am doing my best. White House. Okay, so we'll show this. Secondly, I got to figure out where the official video is. But first, while we're doing that, this should work. While we're doing that, let's go ahead right now. Let me throw this up on the screen. This says, President Donald Trump, for the first time since returning to office, will send weapons to Kiev under a presidential power frequently used by his predecessor. Two sources familiar with the decision said on Thursday, a move suggesting new interest by the president in defending Ukraine. More than 3 years after Russia's invasion of its neighbor, the Trump team will identify arms from U.S. stockpiles to send to Ukraine under the presidential drawdown authority, the sources said, with one saying it could be worth about $300 million. Trump on Tuesday said the U.S. would send more weapons to Ukraine to help the country defend itself against intensifying Russian advances. The package could include defensive Patriot missiles, offensive medium-range rockets, but a decision on the exact equipment has not yet been made, the sources said. One of the people said it would happen at a meeting on Thursday, which is obviously what we're talking about here. So far, the Trump administration has only sent weapons authorized by former President Joe Biden, who is a staunch supporter of Kiev. Presidential drawdown authority allows the president to draw from weapons to stocks to help allies in emergency. The Pentagon and the White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment. So right there, you just saw it. The president of the United States, President Donald Trump, will be sending weapons. He's going to flood Ukraine with $300 million of weapons. Rockets and Patriot systems seem to be the big thing that they will be getting. That seems to be the big takeaway. Now, if you don't remember this, let's see if we have the famous. Come on, stop now. It's causing problems. Let's see if we have the famous Zelensky video right here. I'm going to go ahead and put this up on the stage. For those of you who don't remember this, let's go ahead right here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to share this tab. Now, let's go ahead and watch this infamous showdown between Zelensky, Vance, and Trump. Let's see if we remember this. I mean, this is just incredible.
I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say...
About to hit him with his zinger.
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
Let's go ahead and watch this part. I mean, this is just
to come to the
beginning
And he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From
it.
the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you don't.
I'm
Yeah,
very
you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives of
anymore.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you
You're
think about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
We-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm
That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
I'm wearing
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said?
oh,
thank
I
you
missed it.
once?
Here, let's rewind that.
Far more than a lot of people said
I'm wearing
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A
This
lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire.
So that what you just saw there, let me go ahead and remove that. What you just saw there, that was just 4 very short months ago, give or take a little bit. That was 4 months ago. And now President Donald Trump is going to flood Ukraine with weapons, Patriot missiles, offensive rockets. I think it's safe to say clearly, this is we're in an uncharted territory. This isn't exactly what Trump campaigned on, but at the end of the day, he is very pissed off. He is very pissed off at Putin. What we know about Trump is that when he gets pissed or he feels like he's been disrespected, what does he do? He figures out a way to get even. And right now he feels Putin is not playing game. He is playing games. He's not playing ball, if you will. And he's not a legitimate negotiator. He's not in good faith negotiating. He's dicking around, for lack of a better term. And it's just, and Trump is now going to flood Ukraine with weapons. To be honest with you, I don't think a lot of Trump supporters are going to love this. I don't think they will. The way I look at Ukraine is this simple. I think it's when an invasion happens and innocent lives are lost, that's absolutely tragic. Do I want Russia to win this war? No, I don't. Do I want American assets and more American involvement in this war? Not unless someone can tell me beyond a shadow of a doubt what it absolutely does to help us. So he's going to find himself now in a little bit of uncharted territory because MAGA voters didn't vote for more war in Ukraine. And Trump is now escalating, flooding the country with weapons. After 4 months ago, they got into a blowout argument in the White House. Very, very different from where we were just a few months ago. Now, it does show Trump's willing to adapt. It shows that Trump is willing to change his mind when necessary, which I don't say necessary as if we should do this. I say that he feels the situation has changed and thus he is going to change his mind. That is what, smart people do. Now, I'm not saying you got to agree with it or disagree with it, but at some point this war needs to end. How many people need to pass away? How much destruction and carnage does there need to be? It's got to end. And I'd like to remind everyone, the United States of America is gearing up for the big one against China. And we're going to need all the weapon systems we can get our hands on when that goes down. And I can tell you for a fact from sources, and this has been reported, our stockpiles are dangerously low. Dangerously low. So while our stockpiles are low, we're flooding weapons to Ukraine. Is that in America's best interest? I get the argument. It's sucking assets and resources from the Russian military. I totally understand, totally get that. But is that in our best interest to deplete our stockpiles further? It's a serious question. Let me know in the comments. I'll be very, very interested to see how people respond to this. You just never know. Once you're on the escalation ladder, you can't really ever get off. This is not what I think Trump voters voted for. I think that a lot of Trump voters aren't going to be happy about this. Maybe Trump has some grand plan. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and act like I know what he's thinking. I don't have a clue. But I know his voters aren't going to love this. But I want to know what you guys think. Hit me in the comments below with your thoughts. Please make sure to like and subscribe. You can see my Instagram right there. You can see my X handle right there. Please give me a follow at both of those. Lots of fun information out there. Hit that bell so you don't miss a single notification. And as always, as you all know, I'll catch you